And welcome back to High Stakes MMA recap of UFC 264 Poirier versus Mcgregor 3. It was a good card, crazy card from top to bottom. Had some good, we've had some good picks all throughout it. Rocky finished strong with a 9-3 record. I came out 8-4. Did good on our parlay, on some of the parlays that we picked. But starting up the card, we'll go up the fight card here. First fight of the night was Zuma Gulav and Rivera. How'd you see that one?
Man, it was pretty good. Just like I said in the breakdown of Rivera, he's really good, light on his feet. He can be pretty long and present a little bit of problems, but Zuma Gulav closed the distance pretty nice and got that ninja choke on pretty quick and ended up finishing it. It was pretty quick, man. It was made the minus three something look justified, so you couldn't really hate on it. I guess the line wasn't that wide after all.
Yeah, I was getting worried in the first minute because Zuma Gulav looked like he was taking a minute to kind of get in rhythm, but when he landed a nice one and then sunk in that choke, and got it done, got him out of there pretty quickly. I know we both had Zuma Gulav. I had him in some parlays as well. So, yeah, that one ended up working out. Next one up the fight card was one we were different on. That was Akhmedov taking on Tuivasa, and which was a back-and-forth fight. I was a pretty good one. Tuivasa definitely won the fight because, and I think it was, in my opinion, 1-1 going into that third. But Tuivasa just definitely dominated the third round and took the victory.
Yeah, the judges had it as a split decision, so... Yeah, one judge had it for Akhmedov, and Akhmedov was actually landing some decent shots. He was getting off, and Tuivasa showed a good chin and good takedown defense. We already knew that was going to happen, but I just thought Akhmedov would end up slowing down more than he actually didn't. So that was actually a bit of a surprise. So good on him, but yeah, Tuivasa ended up getting it done. He was the pick. The next fight was Maya taking on Jessica I, and that one I believe I took Maya, you took I as well.
No,
huh?
I had Maya.
Oh, you took Maya as well. Okay, so on that one we both had Maya, and yeah, man, it was a decent fight. She did open that nasty gash on her forehead that we've seen a couple memes already that were pretty hilarious already about. So yeah,
I thought Maya would do more, more of the wrestling and more of the grappling here. But it actually was the other way around with Jessica I taking her down twice. Maya she did well on the feet. She landed it was damn near exact same amount as I did. But I think she just hit her with the harder shots, and she was able to squeak out the victory. Both of us picked Maya to win that fight as well. I just thought she would win it in a different fashion. Next one up the card was another one we was different on. That was Giles versus Duplessis. This was one I believe was like your straight bet, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the under 2.5 was looking for a straight bet on that one. I didn't end up pulling the trigger on it, but I had it in some parlays that ended up crashing. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah, and it was a good fight. First, they were swinging them. But and then Duplessis just ended up landing that heater, right on the nose.
Yeah, I don't, like I said in the breakdown, dude. Like, I just don't like Giles at all. And Jessica I as well. So I should have did the fade special. I was telling you about it. Like, I should have had the fade special going on for this one, but I didn't end up doing it. Should have did it in hindsight, but hindsight's always 20/20. And Duplessis looked like he definitely got the heavy hands, man. If he lands, he's putting people out. So. It's good to see him coming forward, and excited to see what he got going into his next bout. The next fight was Ryan Hall versus Ilir Topuria, and this is one that we were pretty heavily invested in Topuria. And man, what can we say? Ryan Hall came in and he looked exactly like what we thought he looks like, just a one-dimensional fighter, and he just pretty much got exposed, man. That tricky shit that he does is gonna work on a lot of people, a lot of good people too. But if you're solid in your fundamentals in jiu-jitsu and you believe in it and you can land good strikes and keep them worried, you see what happens, man. And it was pretty easy. I kind of felt bad for Ryan Hall, like we were saying the whole week.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get some striking, at least minimal, to where he can at least stay on his feet somewhat, and not just continue to just roll for legs, the entire fight. He's just not gonna be able to withstand it or win very much at this level that way. Even though he'll catch some legs every here and again, now and again. When he gets to the top of competition, it's just not going to work.
He's really old, man. Like I said, he's like 34 or 36 or something, right? Something like that. So. And that was his only second loss and his first loss by knockout. I mean, his only knockout ever. So we'll see how he comes back, man. He's been super inactive. So yeah, sucks to see that for him. So. Going into the next fight, we had Nico Price taking on Michel Pereira. And this one I was pretty confident in, and it pretty much played out the way I thought it would. Pereira just pretty much outstyled him throughout the fight. Nico did press him forward in the second round, and it looked like Pereira had a cardio dump, but in the third round he ended up checking out and won the round. Towards the end of the round, though, he did end up looking like he was gassing more, but other than that, he did win the first two rounds and secured the win.
Yeah, he did well. Nico actually was that third round, I thought, where Nico was really pressing and putting it on him.
Yeah.
That was the round I thought I gave to Nico, honestly. I was just hoping it wasn't he didn't do anything too devastating to get a 10-8 and have this be a draw, because I did have Pereira on a lot of my picks. But Pereira did well. It was a nice backflip to mount that he did. He's just an exciting fighter. He's fun to watch. They both are. But glad to see Pierre get it done. The next one up was Carlos Condit versus Max Griffin. Max came out with huge pressure in that first round, and it was looking pretty one-sided. But then the old vet, started slowing down for him, and he started putting it together in the second round. And the third round was more close. It was a pretty close one in the third. I've seen one judge had it, 30-27. I think that's a little too wide.
Yeah, no, I had a 1-1 going into the third. So.
And I do give Max the win slightly. I thought so, which I did pick him as well. I had him in my parlay, my main parlay. And he did get it done. It was a nice, don't get me wrong, it was a nice performance. But I thought Carlos definitely got around.
Yeah, Carlos was my dog. And, yeah, man, he was fighting for the money, but he's just, he's not as fast as what he used to be, man. He used to wing those left hooks super quick, super deadly, and he was throwing the man to the body nice and landing, and had Max hurt at points, but he just couldn't finish. But yeah, props to Max for getting the win, I guess.
Next fight up, we had was the first on the main card. Was Sugar Sean O'Malley and taking on that Motino. Man, that dude is tough. That little dude got hit with everything. So fast, Sugar Sean was, and he was just smacking him around. And Perp should have let that go. That he deserved to let that go to a decision. But man, that dude can definitely take a punch. And I'm excited to see him again. But he doesn't need to take some time off after all those shots to the head.
Yeah, no, O'Malley teed off on him. Homeboy just kept coming forward, gave O'Malley no space to throw. But O'Malley still threw anyways, and just every time, he would end up getting backed up to the cage, he'd just circle out and reset, and it would be rinse and repeat. And O'Malley landed, 230 significant strikes on his face, man. That's a lot. And Homeboy he kept on coming through. I think he only got dropped once. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, props to him for sticking it in there, sticking it out for the whole time. And, man, I ended up doing a square ass bet on this one, just taking O'Malley inside the distance, and boy was I sweating it, and Herb Dean saved me, so can't really complain. But I had to try to take some easy money there and almost got my ass stung for it.
And next one up the card, we had Aldana taking on Kusasaka Saya. I always say her name wrong. That was another one, man. Aldana looked good. She was banging out there. The first probably minute of the fight, she was getting hit with those kicks. But then once Shay tagged her with that good one, it really, that really was just downhill from there. And Aldana ended up getting the finish pretty brutally.
Yeah, Aldana looks like she's starting to sit. I mean, she has been sitting down on her punches, but even more in this fight, man. She was just real heavy with their hands, and it looks like that weight cut, it was a tactical weight cut or weight miss, so it looked like they helped her out a bit. She did, take a little adversity in the first couple rounds. I mean, the first couple minutes of the first round, but overall, she just she ended up finding her rhythm and spots, and showed her power was too much for the other girl.
And next one up, we had Tuivasa versus Greg Hardy. This one, we knew this one was going to end quick. Tuivasa got rocked in that first round, and came back and just gave Greg a lights out shot, and that just put him down, man. You could face first. He just face planted there, but it was good, man. Either one of those guys could have got finished really easily there, and man, just two heavy hitters. But Greg Hardy, man, I don't know if he has power. Yeah, he has that one punch power, but that's just really what he's got. He don't even have any wins against anybody that's still on the roster. So I don't know if how much more losses he's going to be able to take. At this level.
Yeah, I mean, he might just be one of those guys that need to fight forever. And just he'll come on stronger later on. He'll come more naturally to him later on. But I mean, he does show that he has incredible power. I mean, he had Tuivasa on skates, and not too many people do that. But yeah, man, he came in pretty stupid, pretty much of a rookie movie. Had him hurt and just tried to jump in there with his hands down and ended up paying the price, man. Too, he just saw him coming, and even though he was hurt, he was able to anchor down and throw a nasty two-piece. And the second punch hit Greg right in the face, and he collapsed, man. He was holding his head. You could tell he was really hurt. So props to you. I had Greg Hardy on that one. Didn't put him in anything, but yeah, it was good. It was good. A good fight for sure.
Co-main event was Gilbert Burns versus Wonderboy Thompson. This is the one that really hurt us both because I know it was Wonderboy was my lock of the night, and I know we both featured him in a lot of our parlays, and yeah, this is the one that really shelled it. But that Gilbert did what he had to do to win. He didn't really do much damage. I thought he was really kind of holding on just to win the rounds there. It didn't look like he was doing too much to try to actually finish him and get Wonderboy out of there. But Wonderboy came on strong in the third, and I think if he wouldn't have got taken down, he might have been able to squeak that one out. But props to Gilbert. It's hard. He's a tough puzzle to solve, is Wonderboy. So he did get it done.
Yeah, man. That first round, that shit, man. It's hard to watch, man. Gilbert was. It was almost stalling, and I hate to say that just because we were backing Wonderboy and whatnot, but there was at least a good 2 minutes of inactivity where there was literally nothing going on, and you could have made a case, man, for that shit to be stood up, and it didn't. It rode out, and unfortunately that round went to Gilbert, and it was and then Wonderboy was fighting from the whole fight, so he was playing catch up. The second round was a little bit better, but then again, he got taken down again. And that third round was where Wonderboy ended up catching him with that wheel kick and had him in all sorts of trouble. That's what I was expecting to see more or less in the first couple rounds, but that takedown really nullified Wonderboy and got him stifled his game, and took him out of his game. And you got to credit Gilbert for that because not many people can do that to Wonderboy. So. Good for him. It sucked that he lost because he took away a lot of my big parlays. I would have been up fucking huge if Wonderboy would have won. But yeah, that sucks. I was hoping for the KO at that last round, but it didn't come to fruition.
Yeah, man, that was a tough one to swallow there. Then the main event ended a little prematurely. Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor. I have a feeling we probably haven't seen the last of these two. Even though Dustin was definitely getting the best of him there. He was winning the fight. When Conor did get back to his feet at the end of that round, I was thinking, okay, because he looked like he had some fire in him still. And
Dustin looked a little bit gassed. Not gassed, but he just looked a little winded from putting the fucking smackdown on Conor.
Right. He was all over Conor. When on the floor, I thought there was many times there where I was like, okay, if one of these land cleanly, this is over. Shit, yeah. But Conor did defend well. It was kind of funny to see him try to use some jiu-jitsu a few times. But
didn't look like he knew what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. But I really wanted to see some more of that fight. I want to see someone really lose, someone really get knocked out.
Yeah,
again.
I really had a feeling for some weird feeling when I was watching it, but when they were coming out, I'm like, man, how can Conor lose, but not really lose? And fucking, I swear to God, I really thought that, and look what fucking happened. And yep, he lost, but he didn't really lose because he's gonna be able to say the fucking narrative that helps him. And you heard him when he was on the floor, like, I'll be back, like some fucking evil fucking villain movie character trying to...
Yeah, and it is ironic how he did say that Dustin was leaving a stretcher, and yet he leaves in a stretcher.
So all sorts of shit. As far as the fight goes itself, he did come on strong. He was landing leg kicks of his own. Those first 2 wheel kicks he came out, like he was trying to replicate, I guess, the first, 10 seconds of that first fight, trying to, circle him out to the opposite hand, and... yeah, and it worked, and he landed good body kicks and good leg kicks. All kicks, some strong leg kicks, and that's what Poirier said. He checked one, and that's the same leg that cracked. So
Conor didn't look bad on his feet at all. It was just whenever it hit the floor, he's out of his realm.
But Poirier was smacking him with the harder shots,
especially with Dustin on top of you, man. That's not a good place to be.
Dustin is thick, man. He got a thick frame, thick torso, and he generates a lot of power, man. Real straight down the pipe. So a lot of people can't take that shit.
I know that fight just ended with Meme City. There's so many memes that are going to come out of that. It's crazy with Rogan doing the interview from the floor next to him, and it was wild, man. It was definitely crazy. Wish we would have been able to see some more of it, though. I have a strange feeling that we probably will eventually, but I do think it's gonna be Poirier and Oliveira next, and for the belt, because Conor is definitely gonna take some time.
I don't know, man. We'll see. I think Poirier might be the fall. But yeah, you know what? He might want the belt, or he might just want a money fight. We'll see how it goes.
Dustin gets the belt. Dana will just give Conor a title shot right away. Anyway, here you and Poirier again.
4.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to
straight title shot.
He'd beat the shit out of Conor again.
I think he's got his number now. So
yeah, it's not the same. Yeah, he's at this stage he got him. So
he's got his number. So
as far as betting goes, man. I didn't. We obviously my parlay didn't hit. The straight bet I didn't play it. Didn't hit. The underdog pick didn't hit. I did have all those in parlays, but yeah, the only thing I ended up picking was after that first round when I saw Gilbert Burns hug the shit out of Wonder Boy. I hit him by decision live just to hedge me out. So that helped a little bit. And then I just pretty much put everything straight on Dustin afterwards, and pretty much was able to capitalize on that. So overall, it wasn't a loss, small profit, not too much, but you
ended with a 9-3 record.
Yeah, I mean I didn't lose no money. Definitely came up, something little light, less than $100, something like that. So not too bad. And
for me on my end, I had finished with an 8-4 record. My parlay did hit, which was to Poirier, Aldana, and Max Griffin. That one did hit. My dog was Conor, so obviously didn't get that one. And my favorite of the night was Wonder Boy, which killed me. And I had big parlays going with him. That if he would have just won, it would have been a good night financially, but. That was the one that stung me, and yeah, that was my favorite. I featured him, and not only straight, but in a lot of parlays. So.
Yeah, no, in a lot of parlays, I had I'm trying to think of just off the top of my head. I had Pereira, Brad Tavares. I had the under in the Duplessis fight. I'm sorry, yeah, I did play that. I had a lot of parlays with that in it. Who else did I have on there? I had a few other mans, and all I needed was Wonder Boy. And Poirier at the end. That was all I needed. And I would have came up huge, man. But fucking damn it, that's how it goes down, man. Yeah. And I had confidence in Wonder Boy, man.
Oh, I was super confident as well. I thought that was the lock of the night, in my opinion.
I'd have made that bet again probably, but
yeah.
Sometimes those long parlays bite you in the ass, but you go small and you win big. So that's the style here.
I did get the parlay, one parlay to save me, so it worked out good. We had a great record tonight as far as picking the fights, 9-3, 8-4. So yeah, we will be posting on Twitter. So take a look, give us a follow on there. Please like and subscribe. Continue to listen here. We will be back for the next card with some more breakdown.